What is up, everybody? You're live with the Prodigies, another impromptu news week. I'm actually kind of enjoying doing this because I like to talk. I like to give my opinions about stuff. And most importantly, I like to have solutions to shit, which some people don't. They just already have this angle that they want to go with in their mind. They already have their opinions set on what they're going to believe, especially in like these high, uh, intense gender type back and forths currently with the Tory Lanes, Megan the Stallions. People are already picking sides going into the situation. I'm all about justice and prevailing and ultimately getting to the bottom of the truth, because a lot of people just have this agenda where I'm out to cancel this person, or I'm out to get this person, or whatever. Where at the end of the day, for me, I'm all about solutions. So that's what we're going to talk about. It's a decent amount of things to talk about, and we're going to take a satirical angle at this particular situation um, today, because we have a lot of topics. Some of it from 2022, some of it long term, some of it what's to come in 2023. But we have a lot of different angles to cover with this particular thing. Now, the first thing I want to start off with is a man that seems to always stay in the news, but not necessarily for the best reasons, and that's Kanye West. Y'all got to forgive me because I'm gonna be also adding um, hashtags as I go along. Right now, I'm the only person that's online or on this particular video, so give me 1 second as I'm tagging this up, because I want to make sure that this gets out to enough people where they can see it, give their opinion, and what people got to understand. I'm doing this, by the way, on StreamYard, but you can also catch me on YouTube, TJ the Prodigy, TJDA Prodigy, all lowercase letters, and give your opinion. If you say let me call in and give my opinion, I'll share the link with you. And I think you got to do it through YouTube though, because Twitter don't have a spot for that, or unless you're on Twitch. Twitch King Prodigy Games, you can catch me there. But with this particular thing with Kanye West and Pete Davidson, Kanye West, dude, you were asking for harassing this woman, going after them, getting a house, I believe, right next to theirs or across the street or something like that. I'm not one of those people that are going to defend Kanye West because his music is good, and he's obviously a staggeringly entertaining guy when it comes to art in general, fashion, music specifically. But I'm not going to defend this guy. When you commit a crime against a woman, I'm going to say something about it. Even though my Twitter literally got canceled for 12 hours because people took something out of context that I said about the Megan Thee Stallion Kanye West situation. What I was basically just saying is a lot of these women already had in their mind that they're going to think Tory Lanez was wrong no matter what. I'm pretty sure it was a lot of guys that thought that. But I saw women literally throwing parties online that possibly that this man's going to get deported and possibly kicked out of his entertainment spot, lose endorsements. All people don't realize how you can ruin somebody's life. And Jason makes a good point. Jason, my co-host, one of my co-hosts, was saying that when women do something wrong, they don't have to go on this apology tour and admit, oh, I was wrong. They don't have to retract their statements. Men always have to do that. I don't know what the reason. Well, if I had to guess, the reason for it is the justice system mostly is a lot of women, specifically in domestic situations. You usually see the domestic arbiters and court cases be overseen by female judges a lot of the times, like particularly in this Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion. 12 of the jurors were women. Not 12. 7 of the 12 were women. 5 were men. So the majority was women already. And I don't know if it could have been an even split of which is a weird number because you can't really, how do you vote? It has to be automatically unanimous for a person to win out of a 12, because 12 is an even number. That's strange. But it all seems rigged against men sometimes. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that men can't be wrong. Clearly, in this case right now, I'm saying Kanye West was completely in the wrong with how he handled this situation. Like, dude, you can't harass her. Yeah, that's your ex-wife and she's got your kids, but you put this on yourself being just endlessly lunatic. Like, you can't be insane. A woman is only going to take your bull crap for so long, for starters. Now, a lot of people say what they want about, oh, she's dating a younger guy and Pete Davidson, whatever. Maybe he loves her better than Kanye West. And I put this hilarious back and forth text, even though this was from like 9 months ago, but still, I think it's relevant. And this also goes to Hollywood. I want to talk about Hollywood, WrestleMania, Hollywood, all this stuff. Hollywood, where I call it Hollyweird, where all this stuff, everybody seems fake or manufactured. Wrestling, first of all, is a manipulative, worked outcome sports entertainment event. is all contrived. It can be manipulated and bent however you want. I think a Pete Davidson and Kanye West type storyline will be perfect. Not only is WWE in its worst state right now as far as popularity, because the guy that's running it don't want it to be entertaining. That's Triple H, the son. Yeah, the reign, the son. Triple knows he's running the company right now, and he's not as he don't have the big vision like Vince McMahon had, where wrestling essentially is Hollywood. It's a different type of Hollywood. It's not a sport, even though they have sports entertainment in the category or in the word itself. It's not that. Everybody will always see wrestling as a scripted entertainment type theater type thing. So essentially, with WrestleMania going Hollywood, you got a lot of angles that you could do with this. And Chris Rock versus Will Smith should have had some type of interaction at WrestleMania. Now, I was in Dallas, and Dallas is not quite the entertainment hub as other places are. However, it's a lot of ways they could have got there. You know what I mean? This should have been some type of involvement. They could have did a sketch or something. I would say a sketch with Will Smith and R-Truth, or they could have had some wrestlers play them. I don't know how many people they could have got to play them, but it should have been some type of sketch. Wrestling needs to learn how to capitalize off mainstream entertainment like other places do, like SNL does, like certain comedians like Ari Spears or Dave Chappelle or D.L. Hughley. They satirize stuff like this. This is what essentially what comedy is. You making fun of real life situations and making them more digestible to the everyday people. That's what comedy is. And WWE used to be great at this, which is why they used to host Saturday Night Live more times than not back in the late 90s. Austin, Bret Hart, The Rock, and others were the host of Saturday Night Live, or sometimes they had sketches on Mad TV. Now they just go out of their way not to even try to be entertaining with this type of stuff no more. And it's because, ooh, the corporate back. Like, I'm so sick and tired of all these people saying corporate back. If corporate people can't understand that you could put a disclaimer in adult, this is only for adults type warning on the product, they're not capitalizing on all of the money that can come out, because it's adults that will play for adult content. Look how popular channels like Comedy Central is or HBO. People know what they're getting when they watch this. Now, if your kid get access to that questions your parenting skills. How were they even able to get access to it when they got all these parental blockers and all these things that you can use now? It is no excuse for children getting into things other than you being a poor parent. That's all it comes down to, honestly. So the Pete Davidson, and I hate that Kanye West gets so much attention. He gets the attention that he gets, because I honestly don't think he deserves it. Like, Kanye West, with all this stuff, it seems like he's alienating everybody that he once wanted to be associated with him. And with this thing with the Germany and the Nazis and all this, dude, it's just certain stuff that you shouldn't touch. And these are one of those things that Kanye West should have steered clear of. Like, you have to be crazy. First of all, people are never going to get what you're saying. When you start talking about something as traumatic as the Holocaust, as it was to people, even though I think some of these people that weren't directly affected by it, they just so happen to be, the J word, I'm not going to say it, they're overly sensitive. Whereas black people, when they're told to get over it all the time, and other people don't have to get on it. I'm not going to go too much into that because I don't want to. But Kanye West has to be tactful and smart enough to know to stray far away from situations like this. And he hasn't been good at that for a very long time. So you would think maybe they do it and he just don't listen. You would think like his agents and his manager, whatever his handlers are called, will step in and like, dude, don't touch that. They clearly not telling him, or it's not effective enough. Maybe they're doing it, but Kanye West seems like one of those people that if he don't want to do something, he's not going to do it. You can't make a person like Kanye do something that he just don't want to do. So, but Pete Davidson, getting back to how this relates to WrestleMania, this is the perfect type of storyline that a WrestleMania type event could use and benefit from. So WWE, if y'all watching, get some type of something, capitalize on this while it's there. Maybe you can get a match, a celebrity match. I remember WWE used to have celebrity match. I remember they had Rosie O'Donnell and Donald Trump in a segment on Raw. That shit was hilarious. Now, the purest wrestling fans, who I think is a manufactured to specific niche group of people, they didn't get it. They didn't, what this guy do right? Bro, wrestling's entertainment. Wrestling came from the circus. It's meant to be ridiculous and satirical and over the top. That's when it was most popular. You ever heard of the Attitude Era? And I know people keep saying, I know you get tired of hearing it, but the reason people keep talking about it because it was successful. That's why. You don't want to hear about when something was successful. That shows you how selfish some of these people are. They don't want to hear about when something was actually successful. They only want to hear about how it relates to them, or that's not what I did, or what, it's so selfish. But yeah, let's move on to something more relevant and topical, and we'll get to everybody that's on the thumbnail. John Cena is returning from all this stuff he got going on in China and all this peacemaker stuff. A lot of people looking at John Cena a lot of different ways. However, one thing you cannot deny about John Cena, he's going to draw attention whenever he returns to WWE. He's always going to be WWE's boy. I think the reason that WWE is not afraid to let John Cena go because they know he's always going to come back. John Cena, for good or bad, is just fiercely loyal to Vince McMahon. I don't know why he is, but he is. He's just fiercely loyal to Vince McMahon. And it's probably because Vince McMahon was the only person that was going to ever give him a chance. Yeah, he was a good bodybuilder and all that, but you're only going to go so far with that type of stuff. Let's just be serious. You're only going to get so far. There's only so much money because bodybuilding don't get the advertising and the dollars put towards it like WWE or Hollywood does. They just don't. Like, that's why Braun Strowman left. He was asked why he left the strongman and all that. He was like, simply, it wasn't no money in that. And I think some of these rappers, because this is something me and Jason go back and forth about. I think some of these rappers need to learn from that because some of these rappers want to be the starving artist their whole life, which to me, I'll never understand. I never get why they only want to be starving. You have a obligation to take care of your family, dude. And if your starving artist Al ain't working, you're doing something wrong. You're not being a good parent. You're not being a good responsible adult because you have a family. Yeah, you might have an art for music, but at some point you might have to make some mainstream albums or go crossover or pop sometimes just to sell albums. You have to because you have a family to take care. Your fans are always going to be there. They're always going to find a way to download your mixtape. That's what a fan does. The root word of fan, or the word fan derives from, is fanatic. A fanatical person is always going to find a way to get something. So stop thinking about or only singling out your niche audience if you're serious about making money, at least, and crossing over. So John Cena been involved in a couple controversial things called Taiwan and country, which I don't understand why so many people flipped off over. If you would have blindfolded me and put a gun to my head and said it's Taiwan and country or whatever, I probably would have got shot. Because I would honestly, their culture is so similar to China, dude. Like, can you really tell? Like, people that try to fake like they're outraged, but you can't tell. SmackDown gets 2.3 mil last week. You think it's gonna get more tonight? I didn't know they got 2.3 mil last week. What did they have on SmackDown? Wasn't it just a recap show? Yes, they will. Or at the very least, they might get about hover at the same spot. I didn't know they got 2.3 mil. What was even on that last week? Those numbers sound a bit inflated. I can believe the SmackDown got maybe 2, but 2.3? I don't think WWE got that much. Probably since John Cena was around last, or maybe Brock Lesnar. Hopefully, I mean, it's not right now in WWE. It's not a lot in WWE to be excited about. Even John Cena returning tonight is like, it seems like a last-ditch, desperate attempt to get people to watch WWE's terrible product that has been 2022. Now, SmackDown is the most watchable because they had the Bloodline stuff. That's the only show with the actual story, but even some of that stuff getting old. Solo Sikoa kind of revamped it a little bit. He added to it because he was the last Uso. And not only that, I'm not going to lie, he surprised me because I didn't think he was going to be as good as he's been. He's been a great promo. Everything he's done as far as attacking Matt Riddle and coming off as the enforcer, it's came off great. I will say that. However, WWE, you have to do more than this to get to Ultimate Eyeballs. Most people, when they watch this stuff, a person like Sami Zayn being a part of this is a hard sell. I know they want to add a little bit of entertainment and comedy to it, but he just seems out of place. They were better off bringing in Naomi and turning her from light girl, making her be like this. And Jimmy being kind of mad, like, yeah, what you doing here? I don't need my wife watching over me or something like that. And she eventually, they turned that into a storyline or something. I don't know. I've always said they could add some type of woman, maybe Nia Jax, maybe Tamina. But if the comedy thing, to me, a tough sell would have been trying to get Naomi because she's been mostly known as light girl. But, I mean, she does kind of need a character change. That light character is always going to be there. She's always going to sell merch. That'll be there. But Sami Zayn, I think he's a tough sell because he just don't look like a professional wrestler. You know what I mean? And a lot of people say, oh, he's this Robert De Niro type acting. Come on, Freddie Prinze Jr., stop drinking, dude. He's not having Robert De Niro type acting. That's your some type of fantasy you got with Sami Zayn. I wouldn't go that far. Sami Zayn is decent for what he is, but he's not this great savior of SmackDown like people saying he is. I'm just not buying it. I don't know if they're going to get that 2.3. I'm surprised. I'm not going to lie to you because I didn't watch SmackDown last week. I generally don't watch SmackDown. I'm going to watch probably the Cena thing tonight. But unless I know something like, oh, that's going to be cool, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to bother with it. It's hard to watch something on a Friday night as it is because usually I regulate that time to doing stuff with family. But hopefully they will. I just don't see it happening. Maybe 2.3 because I honestly think at this point, John Cena returning isn't enough because people could just catch that on YouTube. That's not a reason to slow down your Friday schedule to come watch TV because John Cena's on it. That's a tough sell for a lot of people. So, because Friday is when they go out and have fun. So, and SmackDown is just not much watch TV where, oh, let me watch this before I go out and do my usual Friday plans or go to the club or whatever. They're not going to sacrifice their schedule for one thing that might be marginally entertaining. They'll catch that shit on YouTube when they get home later or tomorrow when they wake up or something. It's just the biggest problem with wrestling, which is why I'm adding that this Hollywood stuff, WWE will be smart to take advantage of this. Wrestling's not must see TV anymore. That's what a major problem with it is, and it's only going to get worse with Triple H being in charge. I think this year is going to prove whether Triple H got the chops tonight. He's got between now and WrestleMania to prove if Vince McMahon leaving, albeit under good circumstances, was a good move or not. Because I honestly think Triple H is only going to make wrestling worse. He already turned Raw and SmackDown to the Indies. What more damage can he do? You think Jonah coming back is going to be headlines? Since when did WWE stop being a relevant entertainment marketing company? I'm surprised they still have a deal with Mattel. What kind of crazy people are? And some of these action figures don't even look great. Like some of them do. I would say a decent amount of them probably do. 70% of them probably look good. But when you get rid of somebody like Mandy Rose, who is headlines, who's on Sports Illustrated, who looks like a wrestler, what a female wrestler should look like, that shows you the people that are currently running WWE do not have their finger on the pulse. These people have to be out of their minds. And Triple H does not have what it takes. Some people probably get upset about the whatever, but it's the truth. He doesn't have what it takes to run this company. You think Jonah coming back is going to grab headlines? You think Johnny Gargano coming back is going to grab headlines? You have to be out of your damn mind. Mandy Rose was the biggest headlines they had, and it was for the wrong reasons. That is further proof that he does not know what he's doing. And I'm so scared for the Royal Rumble because if the rumors are true that Cody Rhodes is going to win it, wrestling will die at WrestleMania. It's going to die. It's just that simple because the whole story leading up to now, this last 2.5 years, a little bit over 2.5 years, that WWE has invested in bringing Roman Reigns back in August of 2020 leads up to can The Rock be the person that dethrones him? And it makes too much sense. They're both Polynesians. It's a heavy Polynesian culture in the Northern California, which is where this pay-per-view is taking place at April 1st to April 2nd in Inglewood. It makes too much sense for The Rock or one of the Usos to be Roman Reigns. I would prefer The Rock. The only thing that could stop this from happening is if The Rock Hollywood schedule prevents him from showing up, which I'm really hoping like Hollywood, please let The Rock show up and do this one thing, do whatever insurance y'all need to get. It's crazy. It's sad we know what's going to happen this early. Yeah, you got to be more specific with that, Retro. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but I'd rather you tell me. If this stuff happens, WrestleMania is going to be terrible. And all this stuff about Cody Rhodes, if he actually comes back, wrestling's going to die. I'm not saying Cody Rhodes can't have a match at WrestleMania. He wouldn't have a match at my WrestleMania because I don't have a good enough story right now for Cody Rhodes. Unless you're going to turn, not Cody Rhodes as he's presented now. If you turn him into a heel and make him the guy, I left the small leagues to come to the big leagues. Okay, yeah, that's something you can work. But I still won't put him in the main event. Have him work against somebody maybe that jumped ship or one of the I'm trying to think who he can even work with right now. Maybe LA Knight, maybe. And I think that's a waste of LA Knight. He should be doing something better. The only saving grace, if he can get one, William Regal maybe, because Regal left too. Maybe William Regal say, "I'm gonna beat some respect into you." So I don't know how they can even go with this, other than the fact they could be a traitor, or maybe him and William Regal have a faction where they just antagonize people in AEW. You would literally have to get somebody from AEW to come over here and say, or if they had like an invasion or something like that, where they had like a short-term deal where the Bucks had a feud, it'd have to be something like that. Speaking of which, check out my Twitch because I just did hypothetical invasion angles on my Twitch since Christmas. The last 3 or 4 days, I got a couple videos. So King Prodigy Games on Twitch, go check that out. And Retro says, about Cody. Yeah, it's said that we might know what's going to happen. And the crazy thing about Triple H is he doubles and triples down when he knows something's not going to roll just to prove that I want to get my shit on TV. That right there, the stubbornness, he reminds me a lot of Dana White. Dana White will make an idiotic business decision, like getting rid of allowing Cyborg or possibly Francis Ngannou lead, two of the biggest draws in your history because of your ego. You have to be on drugs, dude. And it's even worse for the people who are over him to allow this shit to happen. Y'all gonna let these two hot commodities walk? You have to be on drugs. So they don't make good decisions often. And it shows. I mean, it's really bad, dude. But I mean, that's kind of where we are. But I'm saying this right now: if Cody Rhodes main events WrestleMania, nobody's gonna. WrestleMania 39 is gonna be one of the worst WrestleManias in history. Vince McMahon might have a heart attack that night. And I'm not. I'm being facetious and funny, but if Vince McMahon sees that, he's probably gonna be pissed off. He go, "What up? Oh, gee, I'm dying." Like it's gonna be. I swear, Vince McMahon's probably gonna call Triple H and tell him to clean out his locker. That's what's going. That's the only reaction is gonna be to this. And I've been saying, Vince, I've done several videos, so I'll keep it brief here. Some type of way a winner takes control of the company match needs to happen between probably Triple H and Shane McMahon, with Vince McMahon being out there. That's the only thing that could save WrestleMania if Cody Rhodes main events against Roman Reigns. It shouldn't happen, but if it does, that's the only thing that could save their WrestleMania. Pushing forward, WWE has to find a way to capitalize off this Will Smith Chris Rock thing. Maybe them being there and having a little skit or standoff against each other, something. The Kanye West and Will Smith and the Pete Davidson and Kanye West thing are noteworthy Hollywood things that make sense to happen at WrestleMania Hollywood. If they don't, WWE is crazy. They have to find a way to capitalize off this. If you want the true mainstream to watch your show, you have to have something like this happen. Maybe Kanye West will be more of a villain being there, and maybe he get to come up as from one of the big guys that come out there and hit him with a move. I'm pretty sure Kanye West will take a wrestling move. He's that fucking crazy. He'll take a move. So they have to capitalize off these things happening. The Rock got a lot of flack for possibly being named as Superman. You should have known people, even though The Rock has the look to play Superman, I'm not sure if he has the right personality. The Rock fits better to me in anti-hero type roles, like a Black Adam. Even though Black Adam was technically a villain, in the Hollywood version, they turned him into a anti-hero. I think The Rock fits, his personality fits better as more of a like an anti-hero type character. So Superman wouldn't be a great fit. John Cena makes more sense as Superman than The Rock does, even though The Rock has the physique, so does John Cena. So a big gripe that The Rock gets is he only know how to play himself, which is a pretty fair assessment. When I watch Ballers, I couldn't get past season 2 because The Rock was just The Rock. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I haven't seen Black Adam yet. I've been kind of on the fence because things I heard about it. It's hard for me to watch a lot of movies today because I already got it jaded in my mind. They're going to put some stuff in there that I don't want to see, or some shoehorn stuff that had no business being in there. Feminism, a random character just having a sexual identity crisis. Like, dude, can I just watch a movie and not have to worry about politics that I interact with on a daily basis? Like, I don't want to see this shit. You know what I mean? Cena returning tonight, ultimately. What does this mean for WWE for John Cena return? What they have planned tonight needs to turn into maybe a pay-per-view or some type of Saudi Arabia show coming up. Cena and Roman Reigns have to work together again. I don't want it to be Sami Zayn versus John Cena or Kevin Owens versus John Cena. That's not a headline grabber. What John Cena need to go out there tonight, actually he's teaming up with Kevin Owens. They need to go out there and clean house, and after the match, John Cena needs to get the shit beat out of him by the bloodline. That's how this has to end. If you want to grab headlines, Cena and Roman Reigns must work together probably down the line at a Saudi Arabia. Because this show, obviously, tonight is to crack a rating before the end of the year. Just to say, yeah, we got a good rating. It's no long-term booking, I'm pretty sure. Outside of what I'm saying right now, there's a possibility. It's no long-term booking to John Cena returning tonight. It's just simply to pop a rating. They have no long-term plans for John Cena. Now, I'm hearing he's supposed to work with Stone Cold Steve Austin, which will be interesting because they never wrestled each other. It'll be a nice little one-off, perfect for Hollywood, because both of them basically are in Hollywood at this point. More so John Cena than Austin. But Austin's done a couple movies. I don't know if they Hollywood, but he's done movies. It's a one and done type thing. Usually I'm totally against one and dones. In this particular instance, I will make an exception because WWE is desperately in need of some fresh a storyline like this. They need it because it's nothing but garbage. Right now, outside of Roman Reigns, everything that's the main event level in WWE is terrible. Everything. Nobody cares about Sami Zayn. Not the mainstream, at least. I'm not talking about internet fans. It's not only about y'all. It's garbage all through WWE. All their women. Ronda Rousey is okay, but she can be pushed a lot better. The problem is they focus too much on her weaknesses, which is talking. She's not a great talker. Maybe she needs to be with Paul Heyman or something. Because I like the dynamic of her and Shayna Baszler, but they're both weak talkers. So they can't carry a segment by themselves. For you to be the world's champion, and this goes back to when 70s and 80s, you have to be a strong talker. People are charismatically captivated to people that are strong talkers. That applies in all walks of life, even politics. Why do you think Donald Trump became the president of the United States, despite people still hating him? Why do you think he's still relevant in the news almost every day? He's a charismatic, polarizing speaker. That's why. People are always going to be way more invested in a charismatic talker than a person doing synchronized gymnastics that little kids on TikTok can do better than these wrestlers in the ring now. It's more believable YouTube personalities. DJ Academics is a bigger villain than most people in WWE. Kanye West is a bigger villain. I might be a bigger villain than most people in WWE. Not only do you not have anybody that has any relatable star qualities on your brand, all of them look like they can get beat up by average people. That's what the problem is. Well, with the exception of John Cena, The Rock, Roman Reigns, they don't look like little shrimps. LA Knight, Karrion Kross, but that's just a few people. Back in the Attitude Era, you had about 25 to even sometimes 40 when WWE took over the ECW, WCW roster back in 2001. You had about 40, 50 grown men that most people in society wouldn't dare to challenge them in the streets if they saw them. That is not what WWE is anymore. It seems like they go out of their way to get the most average, uninteresting person they can find. Oh, he's relatable. Okay, well, you're going to lose money, and nobody's going to take your show seriously. But you're not going to get criticized by this very small, niche SJW new modern audience, like who their goal is to ruin everything probably by the year 2030. Everything, but can you imagine what entertainment is going to look like by the year 2030? It's going to be a bunch of like unoffensive. All the scripts are going to be terrible. Like nobody's going to be believable. Nobody's going to be. You're not going to be able to talk bad about anybody. Sketch comedy is probably not going to exist anymore because it's too offensive to the average person that controls the media now. What do you think about the Dragon Lee sign? Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because I tweeted about this. Not many people know the fuck. Oh, by the way, before I get to that, R.I.P. to Don West, former Impact announcer, and he worked in the merchandise department. R.I.P. He had a lot of good sound bites. Don West, Impact Wrestling. R.I.P. He died either today or yesterday. R.I.P. to Don West. He did some good stuff. Dragon Lee, a lot of people don't know who he is. It's a waste of a signing essentially because Dragon Lee is a cruiserweight and WWE doesn't have a cruiserweight title. He's not going to be any. How is he going to be any different than Ricochet, than A-Kid, or whatever name he goes by right now? Any of these dudes, Finn Balor, and his name's not a big. He's probably a big deal in maybe Japan or Mexico, wherever he came from. He's not going to be a big deal. Gone are the days of believable cruiserweights that were headline grabbers like Eddie Guerrero, Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, the greatest cruiserweight, Psychosis. Gone are the days of Super Crazy, the Juice. Those days are over with. Because when everybody looks like a cruiserweight signing's not special. And it seems like they only want to sign cruiserweights now. You almost never you don't hear about a W. Morrissey getting signed to WWE or a who's another big name that's a Jay Lethal, even though he's kind of cruiserweight-ish, but he has a booming, larger-than-life personality when he wants to have one. You don't hear about these the Briscoes or LA Knight, not LA Knight. What's this guy? Aaron Stevens coming back or who's a big star over in Japan that was kind of a dude. You get my point. You don't hear about these heavyweights returning as big. You don't hear nothing about this. The only cruiserweight I want to see get re-signed in WWE that I think will break some headlines, good or bad, is Enzo Amore. That is it. No other cruiserweight right now got the sauce or the recognizability to return right now. They don't have the stroke. It's not going to work. Nobody cares about Dragon Lee. I'm sorry. No matter what you put him. And more than likely, all they're going to do, Retro, is put him in a tournament and he's going to win. That's another lazy aspect. All they do is tournaments. Everybody's in the tournament now. But to wrap this thing up, WWE, John Cena better do something important. Y'all got one opportunity. And if Cody Rhodes come back, wrestling's going to die. You must take advantage of this Kanye West thing. Obviously, have someone beat the hell out of him because he's talking about all this, Holocaust stuff and all that. So y'all have to take advantage of all this stuff. Take advantage of Hollywood and do things. Stop being so, oh, we're going to do this because this is the WWE way. If you want to do that, keep losing money. Just that simple. King Prodigy of Games on Twitch. It's TJ Time 91 on Twitter. TJ the Prodigy on YouTube. Go give me your opinion about this. Retro was a great, big ups to Retro. He's got the Cardinals look or whatever. So yeah, WWE is going to die if they do any of this stupid crap. Take my ideas, don't take them. It's your money. You know what I mean? I just know people not going to watch it. I'll catch y'all soon. Catch y'all on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Peace. Right, the highest paid person in NXT. That's ridiculous, man. I'll talk to y'all soon.